welcome to the Bender Bunker, where we've been offering hot B-Bender action mixed with country twang guitar since 2017. And as you can tell from the title, this one is 2 for 2K. And what's that all about? Well, the two part's easy. Those are the two main licks you just heard in the intro. We'll be going over those note by note, bin by bin, as we always do here in the bunker. The 2K part, let's get to that. Now, that's not related to the old Y2K. Remember that? When we turned to the year 2000, everyone thought that the computers were going to malfunction and we'd lose the power grid and we'd all be instantly turned into acoustic guitar players. My God, the horror. No, the 2K is referring to a very pleasant surprise, one I did not see coming, and I just noticed the other day, so I could not let it go unnoticed or unappreciated, and that is that the Bender Bunker now has 2,000 plus subscribers to the YouTube channel. And again, that's a huge surprise to me. Never thought we'd get to 1,000, and here we are at 2,000. So wanted to take a moment and say thank you to everyone that has supported the channels, all the viewers, all the subscribers. Thank you for the thumbs up and sharing the videos with your friends. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, join this Bender party. We've always got that handy dandy subscription button waiting for you in the bottom corner. Red arrow showing that to you now. And of course, big thank you to everyone that supported the channel by visiting the Bender Bunker's PayPal account and sending over a virtual beer donation amount of your choice, tip jar if you will. And that link for our Bender Bunker's PayPal is in the details section below if you ever want to see that. Next to our Instagram channel if you want to keep up on what we're doing in between these videos. Now, we've been on a bit of a summer hiatus. We haven't shot any new content since the last Waylon Jennings, Ralph Mooney lesson. And so that's just related to the incredible Central Texas summer temps. And it just makes it real hard to shoot videos here in the bunker. Can't turn off that wall AC unit for too long. Things get a little nasty in here. So I'm kind of waiting out for those fall temps, which are about a week or two away here. But when I saw the 2K mark here on the channel, I thought, no, we got to do a video. So came up with those two licks you heard in the intro there. Those are fresh out of the Bender oven. I wrote those about less than 24 hours ago. And I'm happy with them. I think they're going to be fun to go over. And it's very twangy, bendy action in the key of G this time. But didn't want to just get on here and talk and say thank you. Yes, that's important. But I wanted to come up with, of course, some licks here, some hot Bender action. Keep this party rolling. So that's all I've got for you. Just again, say thank you to everyone who supported the channel. And let's get rolling now with the 2 for 2K here at the Bender Bunker. 2 licks for 2K subscribers. Let's get rolling with this lesson. Nice to have you on board. The first lick we're going to cover is this one. Let's get rolling. It starts in a very fun way that definitely involves your bender. I can't do this particular lick I'm about to show you, the opening, without a bender. Maybe like a Jerry Donahue type player could, but I can't, because you're getting your B string to go down in pitch at the exact same time the G string next to it's going up in pitch. Like two ships in the night, they pass on pitches. And that's because we're starting everything with a pre-bend, right? And so it sounds like this. And that's a fun way to get the party started, in my opinion. So what we're going to do to get this thing rolling is we're just going to make the first 2 notes of like an open D chord. We can leave that high E open. So I've got the ring finger, 2nd string 3rd, and then I'm index finger on the G string 2nd, right? And that's what we're starting with. So again, engage your bender. That's how we start the twang party today. And I will be up picking on the 2nd string into the 3rd. And as I do that, I'm bringing the bender down. That's the first half of it. Now, as we do that, at the same pitch we bring that bender down like I just did, we have to use our index finger on that 2nd fret, 3rd string to take it up a full step at the same time on a bend. And when I say full step, that means I'm trying to bend the 2nd to sound like the 4th. And so it sounds like this. Again, as the bender comes down, you're using your index finger to bend the 3rd string 2nd up. That's what it sounds like. All right, so that's how we're starting. And so once we get there, we've got the bender down and unengaged, and we're holding that full bend there on our index finger. We've got to get quick with it because that gets painful in a hurry on the 2nd fret, as you know. So we come down, we're holding it. We're going to go 2nd, 3rd, 2nd in terms of picks. 2nd string, 3rd string, 2nd string, and then we come back to the 3rd string to let that bend down and then hit the open G string after that. It sounds like this. Keep that ring finger, you never have to move it, and if you hit it with that open G string, it sounds great. Can't go wrong. I'm back here picking by the back pickup, of course, for maximum twang. All right, so that's how we get going. Now we're going to go into the second part of this lick. It's fun because it's a very classic. You've heard it a million times in country guitar playing. It is a double stop pattern. That's one I think you got to have in your arsenal. It has nothing to do with the bender, but it leads us into a very exciting seventh bender shape. So that's one of the reasons I like it. It's a go-to double stop. Double stops, of course, just being two notes together. And in this case, the two notes are going to be on the third and second string. So it sounds like this. Right, you've heard that a million times. It's usually that one, and that's just your third and second strings playing notes together for double stops. So we're coming off the opening. Bender's unengaged, G strings ringing open. I've got my index finger. I'm going to use that to go up here and slide into the third and second string for that double stop on the 12th fret, because that's G. And so I slide into it with a pick. And then I pick again right there and use that pick audio to slide it down to the exact same shape, but on the third and second string 10th. All right, so there's our second double stop. Now we're going to switch our patterns on our fingers. We're still staying on the third and second string. We're just going to have the B string be one fret below the G string. So that looks like this. So there you go. I've got my middle finger on the G string 7th, and then my index finger one below it, 9th, and my B string 8th below it. That's our second pattern there. And we're going to walk that down 1, 2, 3. So we end up there, but we end up right where we need to be for some fun with the bender for G in a 7th pattern. And when you get to the very last of that double stop pattern, as you pick it, you're going to take your bender up. Hold it for a second, okay? So you've got that double stop pattern there. Go ahead and use your ring finger now, high E 7th for note to complete that 7th shape. Come back to the third string 7. This time go to the E string but open. And then this time you can hit the B string there, still being held on the 6th to let it down, the bender. That's what it sounds like. Bender's down. Now, I've never moved this last of the double stop patterns, right? So what I'm going to do now, the bender's down, is I'm going to go ahead and either up pick, down pick, whatever sounds best to you, but it's the third and second string in isolation, and I'm going to blast it with the bender. That means I'm going to hit them, take the bender up, and then let it come back down. Like that. All right, real quick all together. I think there's one extra note in there in that part. I'm taking that up, hitting the B string, let the bender down, and then I think I am picking the third string 7th, and then I'm hitting the third and second string to blast the bender up and down. Bender's back down, now unengaged. That's how we end that sequence. And then we're going to go ahead and end like this. So what I'm doing there is I'm coming off that 7th sequence, and I'm going with my index finger top 2 on the 3rd fret, pre-engage the bender, 2 picks, and on the 2nd pick, let the bender down. And then I'm going back to where I started, the first 2 notes of that open D chord like I mentioned. So again, I'm switching fingers real quick. Back like we started, I've got the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, 2nd fret on the G string. This doesn't involve the bender now, I'm just getting my fingers repositioned off that. And then I switch the finger pattern, and I'm starting with the B string 3rd. And then when I hit the G string 2nd, it's got a little pre-bend in it, and I just let it down real quick, a quick waggle, as we like to say here in the bunker. Like that. And then we end by taking our index finger off for an open G string. All right, now to complete this lick, we've got one more thing to learn, which is this. So instead of going, we're going to end it with. So we're walking down everything you've just learned, right? All the way down with that double stop. The same exact. So everything you just learned there, bender up and down on the 7th shape. And now we're coming up here, which is really what we would call the G twang bender box. And we're going to play around up here to end this lick. So what I'm doing is I'm coming off that. Bender's unengaged. I'm taking my index finger, coming up here to the top 2 on the 10th. And then what I'm doing is when I get there, I'm sliding into the B string 10th and taking the bender up with it as I slide into it. So by the time I hit that note, the bender's pretty much fully engaged. So I'm sliding into it and taking the bender up, something we do all the time here in the bunker. Once I've got it there, I hold the bender in place. I don't let it back down yet. And then I go with my little finger to the high E13, come back to the B strings, still held on my index. Little finger comes off, now I can hit the high E, just being covered with the index on the 10th. And then I'm going to hit the B string and let it down finally. All right, so. And then I'm using my ring finger to go to the G string 12. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit the 3rd and 2nd string if you hit the top one as well, because you're just doing that classic bender box shape now for G. I never move my index finger, and now I've got my ring finger on the G string 12. I'm just blasting the 3rd and 2nd, and again, if you hit the top, high E to 10th, that's fine too. And I just go up and down with the bender, I don't pick it again. All right, the whole lick, here we go. Lick 1 of 2 in the books. Let's get rolling with lick number 2. All right, lick number 2 is really kind of different than lick number 1 in a lot of ways, and we're going to be using the heck out of our bender, of course. A lot more percussive, a lot more bender action, but the primary difference is going to be lick number 1, I used the pick the entire time. So what I'm doing on this lick now is I'm tucking the pick, and what I do is I just take it like that and I tuck it under there, and now it's resting in my middle finger, the bottom half of my middle finger. That's a typical move I do when I want to free up my thumb and my index finger. It's kind of my weird bastardized version of hybrid picking. And so pick, 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 and then I just tuck it under there and we're ready to go. So that's what I'm doing, but either way, you've got to free up. If you want to nail it the way I'm about to do it, you need to free up your thumb and your index finger. This whole lick is going to be based all the way down the neck on the 4th and 2nd string in isolation with your bender. Sounds like this. All right, let's dive into that. Again, it's just the 4th and the 2nd string working down the neck with your bender. And so what I'm doing is I'm using the thumb to do the 4th string action and the index finger to pick the 2nd string action. And the really, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions in this first part before we get to that final little run. Again, 4th and 2nd string in isolation. So pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 5 is really just the low octave of 1. It's really 4 distinct patterns if you look at it that way. So this is how you start it. You go in with your thumb and you're picking on the 4th string and sliding in with your, I'm using my middle finger for, I'm going to be using my middle fingers for 1, 2, 3, 4 positions on the 4th string. So middle finger up, slide into the 17th, like that. Not much of a slide, just like that, right? And then the index finger is positioned on the B string 15, 2 frets down below it. I'm picking that with my index finger and taking the bender up. And then they're ringing together, right? Hold the bender there for a second, and then I'm lifting up my index finger ever so slightly after I hit that note, and I'm doing a quick dead percussive note. Like that. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And then the bender's still up. I'm taking that position down to here. So now it's 4th string 12th and B string 10th. And I'm starting there again with the 4th string, again my middle finger. And then I hit the B string 10th to let it down. That's what it sounds like slow. So you're getting it very percussive when you really get into it. That's one thing it allows you, the fingers allow you to do. I'm really getting under the string. Right? You can really hear that. I've got the index finger there pulling up on the string. And the bender's going up on this first position, and then I'm keeping it there, and then the bender comes down on the second position. So the bender's down now. So now I'm doing these two. Still the 4 and 2 strings, just your B string now is just 1 fret below your 4 string, not 2. So here I am. I'm still using my middle and index fingers for these 2 patterns, and that's going to be 4th string 9th and B string 8th. 2 more down. Those are the next 2 we're doing. Same thing. I'm sliding in with my middle finger to the 4th string 9th, and then the B string 8th. I'm taking it up, and then I'm doing a dead note after I hit that. And then I'm taking that pattern 2 down, and then again I'm always starting with the 4th string, and then I hit the B string 6 to let the bender down. It's really the exact same thing I did on the first 2. I'm doing just with a slightly different finger pattern. The bender's down now. We're going to do our final position. It's going to change my fingers down here, because I need to do a different lick. So instead of using my middle finger now on the 4th string, I'm going to be using my ring finger on the 4th string and still using my index finger on the B string. And this lick is going to sound like this. So what we got there is, I'm switched over to my ring finger, so I'm sliding into the 4th string 5th. And then index fingers on the B string 3rd, hit that, take up the bender, hold it there for a second. I'm using my little finger that's already exactly where I need it, high E 5th for a note. Come back to the B string, and then the high E 3rd, index already covering, and then hit the B string to let it down. It's nice, you want to get the top 2 on the 3rd ringing together there at the end of that sequence. Bender's down now, and then the last note is going to be with my middle finger on the 3rd string 4th. Bender's down now, and what we've done, of course, is just make the top 3 notes of a G bar chord. And since we're in G, that's what we want. Bender's now unengaged, bender's down, and we just do a quick standard. What I'm doing there, if you just, that's just a bluegrass lick. You can insert bluegrass lick of your choice. But I think what I did in the opening there was I went back to how we started this party, that first 2 notes of an open D chord. And again, that's ring finger and then index on the G string 2nd. Started, I hit them together, I think, because now I've got my thumb and my index, I can hit them together. Slight pre-bend, of course, like I did before on the G string 2nd. And then what I'm just doing is I'm hitting the open D string and then rolling onto the 2nd open G string next. And then come back to the open D string. Now it's just open G, right? And I can hit it with a G chord. All right, you ready? Let's do it again. And then, as I am prone to do, because I like that behind the nut action, I'm just doing the 2nd, 3rd string harmonics on the 12th, 7th, and 5th. And that's it. Those are the 2 licks. Go ahead and play the intro again. They're going to make a lot more sense now that you see what I'm doing. But that's what I came up with in a hurry there to celebrate the milestone of 2,000 plus subscribers again. Thanks to everyone that has supported the channel. Let's see how much further we can take it. I'm curious. Again, I'm not even sure I knew there would be 2,000 Bender players to even subscribe to this channel. So I'm excited to see there are. And hopefully, as I always say, we're small but mighty Bender Nation. And hopefully we can keep getting the goodness of the B-Bender out into the public so we can get more Benders in more hands. It's a little hard to get Benders these days. I get that. And I hope that some kind of guitar-related company makes it a little bit easier for a lot of more folks to join the Bender family. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We are heading into fall temps here in Central Texas, so a lot more Bender video content coming your way in the weeks and months ahead. And then when we get to December, they're a few months away, we will be celebrating our 4-year anniversary. Man, time goes fast when you're bending the bee. All right, I'm going to leave as I always have since the very beginning with our motto, it is never too late to go on a Bender. Certainly hope you do. I'll see you again real soon. Until then, keep it bent.